Yo, happy Father's Day. Um, I want to talk about something that um, we kind of take for granted in America. And it's something that we actually believe at our core. And it's completely wrong. We believe America is about profits. We have the largest gross national product. We're the biggest country. Afraid China's going to catch up to us. It's all about stuff. That's actually pretty sad. Right now, AI, it's going to eliminate jobs and it's going to bring us prosperity. Um, and one, it can't even solve our basic problems. Our basic problems are not about stuff. Basic problems are about caring and loving our fellow Americans and valuing each individual and the rights that we enjoy in this country. It's not about America making more stuff. Not that it's not important to make stuff, but stuff in general doesn't make you happy. Stuff doesn't help you treat another person like they should be treated. Stuff doesn't make you have values. Stuff does not make America great. Having the biggest military to bomb Iran, that doesn't make us great. Maybe it makes us not so great that we don't help a country like Ukraine that is trying to get to be a democracy and to build a great country. Not build a great country because they have rare earth deposits and they're going to share those with America. Great because they believe in the fundamental idea of a democracy and that we're here for each other. Great is not about making more stuff than anyone else. And as we enter a world where resources are being depleted, we're probably past peak oil, peak copper, peak antimony, peak silver. If you're familiar with that term, there's a certain place that we go through in society where no matter how hard we try, we can't make any more oil. And yes, America is going through um, a peak in production with fracking. Conventional oils went through a peak, and now we use fracking and learn to get the next uh, trapped oil out of the ground. But when that's gone, that's kind of it. There is no big technology that's going to maybe extend it, but it can't make exist what isn't there. AI can't probably help with fracking. We've been working on fracking a long time, and there's been computer models. Fracking can't make more copper ores. We've been kind of scouring the planet for copper ores. Are there deposits to be found? Yes. Are there great big deposits to be found with high grades and large quantities? No. And you can do your own research to see if I know what I'm talking about. Is there enough to keep us going for a very long time? Yes. We're going to run out tomorrow on any of these things? No. But it's all going to become with more difficulty. And I would question that our standard of living, if it's based on stuff, we've probably passed the peak of stuff and the peak of profits, the peak of people, the number of people. But if we learn to share and live together and change our communities and how we live, we can be happy for probably centuries. But if it's the same greed driven world where profits is the most important thing we do, we're screwed. Our national debt is a big barometer that says a profit driven world, everyone ends up in debt. And that's pretty much all the major economies in the world right now. They're all have fertility crisis. And that I don't think is a complete accident. I think people have looked at the world and said, we don't want to bring kids in here. Now, why is it? Is that because we're not making enough profits? I I don't think so. I think there's not a problem with bringing more kids into the world if they were being loved and we had time for them and we took time for them. But to bring them into a world that's driven completely by profits, who wants to do that? The Democrats have a big chance because, you know, Trump has screwed up everything. But just being anti Trump is no better than being Trump. And I say that with full sincerity. I think he's screwing up a lot of stuff. But I think he is also a symptom of the problem we have in America. We've oriented ourselves around stuff and not around caring and distributing. We've oriented ourselves around making money, not and distributing stuff and caring for each other. Until we make it about caring for the weakest and we just make it about making more money. And AI is the latest craziness that's going on. It borders on, I don't know how many smart people can be so stupid. Yes, I think it's going to do marvelous things. Is it going to help us get a pound of copper from the bottom of an open pit to the top? Probably not. We've been working on that for thousands of years, and we've not moved forward. We've gone backward in this country. There's less people that know how to get a pound of copper from the bottom of the pit to the top than there was when I was born. A lot less. A lot less people that know how to refine metals. And metal's just my niche, but it goes further than just, you know, minerals and metals. It goes to farming. Everything we've kind of, mass produced. Uh, Quantity. And as long as we're still focused on profit as the guide to our country, the guide gross national product that we judge everything, we're screwed because we're going into a world that's not going to hand over its treasures anymore because we already took them. And that's true in so many areas that you just, there needs to be a whole course of resource depletion in our colleges and what the implications of that is for our social existence and our lives and working together as people because it's real. And until we accept that we have resource depletion, that we have critical minerals, that we do not have unlimited supply of everything anymore, and that in the process we're also hurting our planet, uh, burning up the last bit of carbon. Till we accept that more stuff in all its many forms is not going to make us a greater nation, a greater people, a happier people, a more prosperous people. If prosperity is always based on more stuff, we're kind of screwed. And I don't know how fast we'll learn. I um, I'm getting long in the tooth, so I don't know if I'm going to be here long enough to see how this unravels. I'd love to, but I'm not optimistic if we're focused on stuff. Anyway, this is the ancient Texan, and I hope you'll just, you know, think about our orientation as a country. Are we going to focus on our values or our stuff? Have a good one. Namaste.